Space shimmered with distant stars, a blanket of light cast across the infinite void. At the edge of the Milky Way, near the dormant gates of a collapsed wormhole, something stirred. A pocket of antimatter radiation swirled in violent disruption, growing unstable by the hour. The anomaly had caught the attention of every scientific observatory from Earth to Xandar, but only one man was brave or powerful enough to approach it head-on. Adam Brashear, the Blue Marvel, floated just outside the unstable antimatter storm, his brilliant blue aura glowing gently against the blackness. His eyes narrowed behind his visor, scanning quantum readings. This much antimatter energy in a collapsing wormhole? Something isn't right, he murmured, his voice calm but firm. This isn't a natural flare. A warning ping pulsed in his suit. There was a foreign signature embedded in the antimatter waves. Not artificial, biological. Suddenly, the fabric of space tore open like a wounded beast, and a crimson space hog thundered out of the void, engines roaring, spewing radioactive exhaust. Riding it was a figure like a nightmare forged in metal and muscle, cackling wildly as he swerved straight through the antimatter storm. Lobo, the main man. His silver dreadlocks whipped behind him, his cigar somehow still lit in zero gravity. Blood-red eyes scanned his surroundings with glee. Woo-hoo! That was a hell of a ride, Lobo howled, leaping off the bike midair and landing on a broken asteroid with a crunch. You gotta love antimatter storms. They're like cosmic espresso for the soul. Blue Marvel didn't react. He hovered down slowly, arms crossed, voice commanding. You're contaminating a delicate space-time rift with toxic emissions. That storm could consume half this sector. Lobo sneered, pulling. That was the moment the air cracked. Not with words, but with raw force. Blue Marvel's body surged with antimatter energy as he shot forward like a meteor, slamming into Lobo with a burst of cosmic light. The asteroid shattered beneath the impact, hurling debris in every direction. Lobo was sent flying, but instead of being hurt, he laughed louder. Oh, baby, it's on! He rocketed back toward Adam, hook spinning and teeth bared. Meanwhile, on Earth's moon base, the Global Science Council monitored the event nervously. He's engaging someone in the rift? Asked one agent. Yes, but the enemy's power reading is absurd, off the charts. An older figure stepped into the room. That's Lobo, the Czarnian, intergalactic bounty hunter, immortal, deranged, unstoppable. Can Blue Marvel defeat him? The younger technician asked. There was a pause. He might be able to contain him, but not without devastating consequences. The battle had already begun. Lobo hurled his chain like a serpent, wrapping it around Blue Marvel's arm. But Adam twisted, grabbing the chain mid-flight and slamming Lobo into a floating meteor. The rock exploded. You don't understand antimatter, Blue Marvel said, his voice echoing. Your presence here is a threat to the very structure of this dimension. And you don't understand fun, Lobo bellowed, wiping blood off his chin before headbutting Adam so hard that space itself rippled from the force. Both men tumbled back, then collided again, exchanging blows that could shatter worlds. Lobo's durability matched Adam's strength. Blue Marvel's antimatter blast scorched Lobo's flesh, but the Czarnian regenerated within seconds, faster, stronger, grinning all the while. The fight wasn't just physical, it was philosophical. Order versus chaos, morality versus madness, control versus carnage. The storm around them began to spiral, pulled into the gravitational echo of their clash. Blue Marvel realized it. The more they fought here, the worse the instability became. Then I'll take the fight elsewhere, he said. In an instant, Adam grabbed Lobo mid-punch, summoned a dimensional gate using his energy, and the two vanished in a burst of blinding blue light. Final scene, near Jupiter's moon. The pair reappeared near Europa's ice rings. They were now far from the rift. Adam let go. Lobo floated, blinking. Teleportation, huh? Neat trick. I'm not here to kill you, Lobo, just to stop you, Blue Marvel said, settling into a fighting stance. Lobo cracked his neck. Then we've got a problem, 'cause I'm here to cash a check. And you? You just made my list. The silence broke as they surged at each other again, fists colliding like stars going supernova. And the real fight was just beginning. Space bent with every blow. Jupiter's icy rings shattered around them as Blue Marvel and Lobo hurled fists with the force of collapsing stars. Europa's orbit began to tremble as gravity pulses from their clash disrupted its fragile stability. Lobo spun mid-air, his chains snapping forward like a living whip. Blue Marvel caught it mid-flight, but Lobo was already behind him, slamming a double-fisted punch into Adam's back. The impact sent Blue Marvel crashing through a nearby asteroid. Chunks of ice and stone scattered across the void. "Come on, pretty boy," Lobo bellowed, his breath steaming. "That all you got? I've fought gods with uglier punches." Inside the crater, Adam groaned, then pushed himself up, antimatter radiation swirling around his body. His muscles burned, ribs cracked, but his mind remained focused. He couldn't match Lobo's regeneration, couldn't exhaust him, but he could outthink him. He shot upward, unleashing a blinding antimatter blast. The blue-white beam struck Lobo square in the chest, sending him tumbling across the battlefield. For a moment, Lobo's skin sizzled, vaporizing to bone, then instantly began healing. "Ha! That actually tickled!" he roared, spinning his hook and charging again. Adam dove straight toward him. The two titans collided mid-space, shockwaves rippling across the void. Blue Marvel managed to grab Lobo by the neck and rocket him toward Ganymede, slamming him through an icy mountain, then burying him beneath miles of frozen crust. "I warned you," Adam panted, "but you don't listen." The moon rumbled and then exploded. Lobo emerged laughing, glowing with rage, riding a chunk of Ganymede like a surfboard. His chain whirled around, extending unnaturally like it was alive. He hurled it again. This time it wrapped around Blue Marvel's leg and yanked him downward. Lobo pulled with titanic force, dragging Adam into a spin and then slamming him into a comet that shattered on impact. But Adam had endured worse. Blood in his mouth, vision blurred, Adam tapped into the core of his power, the negative zone energy that burned at the edge of reality. With a guttural roar, he erupted in antimatter light, breaking free of the chain. He flew at Lobo like a bullet of pure energy, striking him with a punch that tore across space like thunder. Lobo grunted, thrown backward, but still, unbelievably, grinning. "I gotta say, Doc," he said, wiping blood off his metal jaw, "you hit harder than most, but you ain't stopping me." Adam paused, floating a short distance away, breathing hard. His body was battered, but his mind worked faster than ever. "If I can't stop you physically," he whispered, "then I'll change the battlefield." He opened his palms. From them, two gravitational points formed, many singularities infused with antimatter. A dimensional rift opened between them. Lobo blinked. What's that?" "I just created a synthetic gateway to the negative zone," Adam said. "You can survive anything, but this, even you won't want to be trapped in a time-frozen antimatter vacuum where you can't regenerate fast enough to break free." Lobo's smile finally faded. "You wouldn't?" "I would," Adam said grimly. Lobo surged forward with a war cry, hoping to outpace the pull. Adam met him mid-charge, his final gambit. He didn't need to destroy Lobo, just delay him long enough. The two collided, again. Adam drove Lobo into the gravity well, holding him in place with both hands. The force of Lobo's punches cracked Adam's visor, splintered bone, but he didn't let go. Lobo screamed in rage, clawing at Adam, but the gravitational field intensified. Finally, with a massive burst of energy, Blue Marvel hurled Lobo into the core of the rift and detonated the antimatter gateway behind him, sealing it shut with a resounding burst of cosmic energy. Silence returned to space. Blue Marvel drifted, coughing, exhausted, as Europa's remains floated like dust behind him. He blinked at the stars, blood running down his lip. Then his comms pinged. "Adam, do you copy? This is Earth. What happened?" He exhaled slowly. "Lobo's been contained," he said. "He's not dead, but he's sealed, for now." Within the sealed antimatter bubble, a surreal, silent realm of shifting energies. Lobo floated in stasis, eyes open, fists clenched. He didn't breathe, he didn't blink, but inside, he was waiting, smiling.